Map playtesting is something that I really enjoy to do, as it brings out surprising aspects out of a map and its playtesters. However, lots of effort and time can be wasted if the map being playtested is too underdeveloped or some aspect hinders gameplay greatly.
No way! Why didn't they put any lights in there? Oh man.
These flaws can obscure the bigger gameplay problems in the map, which is the aspect you really need feedback on to further develop your map. In this video, I'll give you some tips on how to make your map more enjoyable and efficient to playtest. Let's get into it. Lighting is king, as visibility depends on it. Have the map be too dark and no amount of light textures can help in spotting players, which is crucial in Counter-Strike. Lighting can also be used to set a mood for the whole map, and it's great fun to mess around with. Also, in a map with no detail, the lighting is way more noticeable, and it will make a difference if it's not up to par. You don't want for the visuals of the map to hinder the testing in any way possible, since that would be counterproductive. We want for playtesters to enjoy the experience, not to make them depressed after all. Look into Valve's CSGO Skylist page, where all of the Valve-made maps, skyboxes, and lighting settings are listed. Copy those into your map for a quick lighting that works. Before playtesting, try to salvage as many bomb stack spots for defuse game mode. For deep pits or unreachable spots, you can either clip the area off or use the trigger bomb reset entity to return the bomb back to its last drop position, like they did on DE Vertigo. Check if bomb sites depict the right letter on the radar. This is a very common bug, as the bomb site volumes like to swap their lettering for whatever reason. You can fix this by remaking the bomb site volume you want to be the B bomb site. The last bomb site volume made will be the B bomb site. Clipping is also very important, as the lack of any clipping can lead to some unexpected boosts and can hence break the match. Believe me that players will always abuse a broken map boost if they find one. To save some nerves, be sure to clip the map to the best of your abilities to keep the players focused on the main objective of testing the map. Also clip stairs, or this will happen to anyone using them. Timings are a crucial part to how a map is going to play and which teams get what areas under their control from the start of the round. When designing a map, the map maker should always have an idea in mind of which team gets what area under their control first. Compile your map and test the timings by running to your meeting points with your knife out for all meeting points on both teams, and use the in-game timer for this to keep the timings consistent. The first version of a map is often called a gray box. This name comes from often used placeholder gray textures. It's used to keep the visuals consistent and from distracting players. It's also easier to work with in many cases. This gray box stage doesn't mean that you can't have color though. If you don't have any recognizable structures or shapes, then your best bet is to either use colored simple textures to differentiate areas or to use colored lighting. Again, a lot can be done with a subtle color change to an area to make it more distinct. I touched on this topic a little already, but now we get to landmarks, which act as focal points to more easily navigate around your level. Now, you don't have to actually include this structure later in development, but if your map is very samey and complex, a simple tower can be very useful. Using a variety of different materials as flooring can be very helpful for players to distinguish where footsteps are coming from. This happens a lot, but in maps where there are two areas close to each other, or areas overlap, there can be some confusion as to where the players are actually running around. Notice how many different materials there are to pick. This also helps with callouts, as players can easily call out, for example, wooden or graded floor. Water is also a cool material to use, since it makes a unique sound, and I feel that it's underutilized in CSGO. This is obvious to most people, but weaker materials like wood are also easier to wallbang than a brick wall. You can make even quite thick walls wallbangable and reduce the strength of certain corners by making it wooden. This is definitely not required, but can add to the fun aspect of your map. Who doesn't love a good old wallbang? So there we have it. Couple of key points to focus on before you playtest your map. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and stay safe.